Yeah, I'll slide up closer once we get.
Okay,
But I'm not sure if you're literate, you are very good.
yeah, okay, they'll bring you in on this. And everything, so you don't have to do
You're
anything.
not,
Nope.
this we don't have to.
You don't
touch,
have to
right?
do
Okay.
anything. Yeah.
Just wanted, I seen an
Yep.
X on it, so.
What happens is judge will, they'll bring you in and you'll see the judge and then, I don't know if you're gonna be talking to the probation officer first or not, but they'll bring you in. If you have any problems, just come and yell.
Yes, sir.
We'll get you on.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you,
time.
sir.
Just a matter of time. I didn't see what time, 8:30?
8:30, yes.
Yeah, okay, so you get a little early, but.
Yeah,
But you can have.
I got a habit of doing that,
Hey, better than being late.
and I spent 10 years as an officer myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where?
I was with Washington, Ipsy Township, and I was one of the first four that started Pittsfield.
Oh, okay.
There were four of us that started that.
That was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. But then this is the first time I've ever been on this side, and it's put a sour spot in my stomach. Things happen in life.
Yeah, if you have any problems, just come and get one of us, we'll get it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll be able to see.
Turn this over so we both. Good.
The camera's right here,
Yeah,
that little thing, but you'll be able to see.
that's scary.
All right.
I'm gonna take my hat off, look somewhat presentable.
Mhm.
I wonder if she might wish if she feels sorry for me.
No, you'll be all right. The probation officer knows everything already, so you went in and met him, right?
There's what?
He's the probation officer, you already went in and met him, right? Okay.
I had to go all the way back to there when I come to see him. Oh, his office is way back around the corner. Yeah, through that hallway and around. the corner. But he was decent, you know. I wish I knew before anybody else, we might get away.
I don't see anybody but you.
Yeah, I don't know who Marine is.
I think that's the lady that, the court,
Oh, okay.
what do they call those? Court reporter.
Oh, yeah. That would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of ours done that. Betty, she was court reporter for Judge Deke. Then another judge after Deke died. Cause she had to record it. I had to go see Judge Deke and he's close friend of the family. For shooting ducks early. I got charged $11 a duck for 2 ducks.
How long ago was that?
Oh, God, that was only like 18 years old.
Oh, no.
Something like that, 20, maybe I was 20, I don't know. But it was duck hunting on Ford Lake. They was, decoys and then they left, so they did release us, shot them. My buddy. And the DNR was out there to get somebody else and he happened to hear us.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the judge, when he read my name, he looked up over his paper. He had to cover his face because he's laughing. Like I say, he's his close friend. Dad and them guys just take to the stadium from the Legion, you get drunk.
And then
And he was crippled because he got hit by a drunk. But they take turns, he says, you know, after you drop me off, you're on your own. You get no special privileges. Bullshit, walk your ass home next time.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
She's talking to you.
Oh, hello?
Yes. Hi. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear you. Not real good, hon, but
What case are you here for this morning?
I was supposed to be sentenced.
What is your name? Ernest Smith?
Yes, it is, hon.
Hold on. I don't see you on our docket. One second, please.
Wait,
I got my nephew with me because I don't hear so good.
Yeah, she said, give her 1 second. She's looking, she don't see you on the docket.
Oh, that was what they said.
I'm sure you got the right date.
Yeah,
No, you know what? That was my fault. I see you on the docket at 8:30. So if you give me just 1 minute, the judge will be out. Okay.
That does about in 1 second.
okay. I am on the dock
Yeah, she found it. She found you.
because I had what's on my papers said no. And I had this date, it's still in my brain. I don't even know what I did with that court paper. Probably still sitting on top of my nightstand with all the other junk. Oh, there's
Good morning, Josh.
Mr. Grant.
Hey, are you still here? You know what? We have an 8:30 docket. I had an old docket on my desk, so we start at 8:30. Are you staying here or are you coming back?
Who, me?
Call me before you leave. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, bye. Sorry, Josh, not you.
Oh, I was like, what's
Dan,
happening?
are you coming back? Good
I'm like, I
morning.
don't know.
How are you? Good.
That's great. It's like, I don't know if I'm coming back. It's early. It's tough to say.
I have choices.
I don't hear what you say. Don't hesitate to fill me in.
All right.
Yeah, there's different
I
ones.
didn't even see the picture.
No. But you
Hey,
stand.
Josh, Ernest Smith is here. Is that one of yours? Do you need to speak with him?
There you are.
I'm pulling those up right now.
All right, thank you.
It's a great question. It's not, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead. I think we can cover it. I've got a PSI here.
Okay, all right.
Give me just 1 second. I'm going to look it up real quick to make sure I'm not stepping on somebody else's toes.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Oh, that's.
Hey, Josh,
Hey, Mr. Grant.
this is, Mr. Smith was the individual that did not have an attorney that represented him. I just forwarded it to you in case he did want to speak to somebody.
Thank you for reminding me. I was just reading your email as I was saying that. So good morning, Mr. Smith. Did you hear the officer Grant and I talking there?
Yeah, not real good, but I got my nephew here that will listen too.
Okay, great. So my name's Josh Hadley. I'm one of the court-appointed attorneys. You don't have to speak with me today, but if you had any questions before we see the judge, I'm here. Did you want to meet with me privately, or are you all set to go?
I'm fine. This is,
Okay.
you know,
No problem. Mr. Grant and I just wanted to make sure that you were okay if you wanted to speak with
I'm
me.
well aware of what my problem was and.
No problem, good sir.
Yeah.
You heard them okay.
You know, wasn't much sense in arguing that. I can't
it'd make everybody's job easier if everybody would plead guilty to
Just
their.
like you.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
just need a smile, he's looking, he said, wow. But. Oh, yeah, there's
So,
so many times they're dead guilty, they know it, but they're gonna fight it.
so Shane back up north.
Yeah, he took off yesterday. 2 o'clock, he left my house, we had lunch. Then he left, he had to go back and get stuff out of his trailer. If Jim forgets to start the generator for him. Shit.
Him would forget his head if it wasn't.
Oh, he would, I spent my trip in Afghanistan, I don't think his brain works.
Shave, I forgot to shave.
I mean, he took out a lot of people as a sniper.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a
I
sniper.
didn't know he was.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. So he has that PTSD or whatever.
he does, yeah, so does Shane. Post-traumatic syndrome, yeah, PTS. Yeah, that guy here was my probation officer. The one up there now, the other one was prosecutor.
Oh, all right.
He's the one that made, after talking to me, he made recommendations in the report, so I'll know what he recommended.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do the recommendations.
But Shane will be back probably next Wednesday.
He get all the paperwork for the house.
Yeah, pardon?
He get all the paperwork.
Yeah, he's got to meet with the guy next week down there. In the VA loan.
They gotta come out and inspect the house.
What?
Did they come out and inspect?
No, it'll be a while for you. He hasn't got okay. He's just certified for the loan, getting approved.
Pre-approved.
We gotta dig that sump pump in first.
Yeah.
And we're gonna power wash the house. I'll borrow Brandy's power washer until we power wash it. Then when the power wash the deck, I'll get some money in so I can.
Mr. Smith?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Did you want to talk to the court-appointed attorney?
No, I'm fine, honey.
Okay. No, sir, not honey.
No, it's
Yeah.
It's your honor.
Pardon?
Your honor.
Oh, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I didn't, sir, the only reason I didn't come out sooner is I thought you were talking to Mr. Hadley, but this is 23SU001450D. This is State of Michigan. Let's get the right file would be helpful. This is Sumter Township versus Ernest Smith. State your name for me, please, sir.
State your name.
Ernest Smith.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, today is the day and time set for sentencing in this matter.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've indicated to the staff that thank you. You've indicated to the staff that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning.
Yes, Your Honor.
You intend to proceed on your own, sir.
What?
I'm sorry. Say
I
that.
didn't hear you, ma'am.
Do I need to, I'm sorry, do you need to have staff come turn the volume up?
Yes, please. We can't find it.
Okay. My question to you, sir, while we're waiting for somebody to come help you, my secretary will call downstairs to have somebody come.
Okay.
But in the meantime, sir, my question was, have you waived the right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning?
Yes, I have. Just,
And you intend to proceed on your own?
yeah, I'm just,
Have you reviewed the recommendation from the probation department?
I haven't seen any of that, ma'am, but that's,
Mr. Grant, has Mr. Smith been provided with a copy of your recommendation?
Yes, I emailed it to you. Did you
Okay,
not-
yeah.
Did you get a copy of that?
I didn't see it. I didn't notice it on my email. I don't even know if it come through. I apologize. That might have been my fault.
I could grab a copy for him, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is it my voice or is it the computer downstairs? Do I need to speak louder, Mr. Grant?
Maybe, because it does appear to be at 100%.
Okay. So, Mr. Smith, after you had your conversation with Mr. Grant, he prepared a recommendation for what your sentence should be in this matter. He just indicated on the record that he emailed a copy to you, but if you have not seen it, you have a right to review that document before sentence is imposed in this matter. Do you want to wait a minute to have him provide a
Yeah,
copy to you for you to review it?
Do you want to review it or you?
Yeah,
want
I
to
can
just
look at it
proceed?
real quick. He said went to get it. If that's all right.
He
with
did.
you.
I just saw him pick it up off of his desk. He's on his way back to you.
Yeah, he's quick.
I'll give him my copy, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Yeah. What are we looking at?
Okay, so here's,
If you turn to the second page, it's
Okay.
bold and capitalized as recommendation.
the recommendation right here. The defendant is before the court. His first alcohol related offense. Can you read it?
Issue restitution. $125 consumptor, cost for 24 hours community service, nonprofit.
90 days, has to be placed on probation.
Okay. That's very fine, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
The part about, community service might be a little hard right now. I've got a big brace on my hip. I'm waiting for a new hip replacement. But I'd be glad to do it whenever I can do it.
Were you finished reading that recommendation, Mr. Smith?
You finished reading it?
Yes, I finished reading it.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say other than the community service portion?
No, that's fine. Everything is.
Okay.
I feel the court's been very fair with me.
Well, Mr. Smith, this sentencing arises from an incident that happened on October 11, 2022, at which time you were charged with operating with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more. You appeared before this court on April the 13th, 2023, and entered a plea of guilty to the reduced count of operating while visibly impaired. The court has received the recommendation from Mr. Grant, reviewed it in its entirety, along with the probation information sheet, the needs assessment, the police report, your criminal history, and your driving record. Of great concern to this court, sir, is that at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you're on the road playing with your phone after having 4 or 5 drinks that by your own statements and admissions were vodka and lemonade in large tumblers. You're playing on your phone and could have seriously injured someone other than yourself. I understand that you had a laceration to your hand and some damage to your vehicle. Your needs assessment indicates that a referral for outpatient treatment is recommended. But Mr. Grant, in having interviewed you and reviewed this matter in its entirety, makes the recommendation that this is your first alcohol-related offense. You deny that alcohol is a problem, and you can stop when you want to. And because you have denied the need for treatment, Mr. Grant has recommended that you not be ordered into treatment at this time and asked the court impose fines and costs. And the court will do that. He's asked that you not be placed on probation either. For that reason, what the court will do, sir, is impose a fine of $300. There's cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, $20 fund fee. There was a $50 show cause fee, $125 restitution to Sumter Township. There's the order that you complete 24 hours of community service at a nonprofit and provide documentation to the court's probation department within 90 days. I heard you indicate that you are awaiting a replacement hip, so you might need more time, but sir, there are volunteer opportunities available to you, community service opportunities available to you that do not require you to be physically engaged in that activity. So you need to talk to the probation department about that. That again, that needs to be completed within 90 days. And if you cannot get it done, be in communication with the probation department. Sir, there will be documents that you will need to sign to put you formally on probation with the court. So you will need to check your email because I believe that's how the probation department sends those things to you. You need to set up a payment plan to pay off your fines and costs in this matter. And again, although Mr. Grant recommended that you not be placed on probation and the court is not placing you on probation, the fact that you were behind the wheel of a car with your blood alcohol, what it is, suggests that you might on your own want to do something. But that being the case, that concludes your sentence for this morning. Probation department will be in contact with you. If you don't already have some place where you can do your community service, the probation department is able to provide you a list of possibilities. And again, don't forget to set up your payment plan. Anything else, Mr. Smith?
No, I can set up payment plan then with my probation officer.
I don't know, Mr. Grant, do you do that or would you have McKenzie do that?
I'll reach out and make contact with you, Mr. Smith, and walk you through the process.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Mr. Smith, that concludes this matter. You and your nephew, you can exit the room you're in through that door on your left. Good luck to you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good afternoon or morning.
Mr. Grant, can you make me a copy of this?
Yeah, this is yours.
Oh, is that mine to keep?
This is yours.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Um,
Guru?
If you can walk me through this.
Yeah, he should probably.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. What are you here for?
Good morning. I'm here for sentencing on Amanda Barton.
I have not seen her just yet. I was looking for Mr. Mary Ann, you have to nope. I was looking for Mr. Bowditch for Mr. McKeever.
Judge, he's waived MIDC.
Oh, thank you. That answers that question. Mr. McKeever.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. This is 230391 SM, State of Michigan versus Bryson McKeever.
Yes, ma'am.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Bryson Daniel McKeever. Honor.
Mr. McKeever, the way the court staff had you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You intend to proceed on your own with this arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McKeever, it's alleged that on June 3rd, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you committed the following. Count 1, domestic violence. It's alleged that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Samantha Martin, an individual with whom you had a dating relationship, contrary to MCL 750.81, paragraph 2 of sub 2. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail. and or fines of $500 plus court costs. Count 2, malicious destruction of personal property, less than $200. It's alleged that you did willfully and maliciously destroy or injure the 2003 Ford F-150, the personal property of Samantha Martin, and the amount of the destruction or injury was less than $200, contrary to 750.377A sub 1 sub D. This is a misdemeanor punishable up to 93 days in jail and or fines of up to $500 plus court costs. Sir, inasmuch as you have waived the right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning, the court will have you stand mute to those charges against you.
Well, I'd like to say I did
Mr.
not ask you first. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry.
I did not.
No. You go ahead, sir.
I just didn't know that I had 2 charges against me at the time. I thought it was only domestic, and I mean, I thought it was a lot, mostly fabricated and over exaggerated, but I didn't know that I got charged with a drug problem.
Okay.
That was really.
Mr. McKeever,
Sorry.
what I would suggest to you is that you remain silent only because you're not represented. And I don't want you to say something that could be harmful to you in resolving this matter going forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. There is a recommendation from Van Buren Township Department of Public Safety that your bond be set at 5,010%, and that a condition of your bond be that you have no contact with Samantha Jo Martin. Do you have any comment regarding that bond recommendation, sir?
I have a place to stay here in Michigan. My fiance Samantha has went back to Ohio, where I'm from. So there's no way I'll be able to get a hold of her or contact her regardless. But I think being my first criminal violent charge of any kind, I'll be able to come to court, stuff like that. I think. Are you
employed, Mr. McKeever?
Yes, Your Honor. That's why I'm down here.
Where do you work and how long have you been there?
I'm staying in Lansing right now with a buddy of mine that he owns a company doing tree work. I'm a tree climber, tree trimmer. That's what I do. I stay busy every single day. I got to keep my bills paid and stuff like that. So I like to try to keep working if possible. And I'll be able to come to court and make payments of any sorts and stuff like that. I just like to say I got a little out of hand drinking, and that's really the most of what happened.
Mr. McKeever, the bond recommendation would require you to post $500. Are you able to post that, sir?
Yes.
The court will adopt the recommendation from Public Safety Department, sir, and set your bond at 5,010%. A condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the complainant, in this case, Samantha Jo Martin. Sir, no contact means no contact. You indicated that she's gone back to Ohio. Do you have any reason to be in contact with Ms. Martin between now and the time this case is resolved?
I can have somebody else do it for me to pay the bills. That's about it. But I'd like to get this as fast as possible, being she's my fiance. And she's probably going to drop all the. She didn't press
Mr. McKeever, sure. Mr. McKeever, I'm back to asking you again. Please just keep your comments to yourself for now, because you're not represented. And when I say no contact with Ms. Martin, that means no contact, no direct contact, no contact with third parties, no contact from social media. Your next court date, sir, will be Tuesday, June the 13th, 2023 at 9 a.m. That will be in person in courtroom number 2 with Chief Judge Brian Oakley. Again, this case number is 230391SM. Next appearance date, June 13, 2023 at 9 a.m. in courtroom number 2. I heard you indicate that you would have somebody else communicate with Ms. Martin regarding bills, but I would suggest to you that you wait until after the 13th. There will be attorneys available, court-appointed attorneys available on that docket to assist you in possibly resolving this matter or having communication with the prosecutor.
Important too. Is there any way I can have this whole type of case transferred back to my state or something like that? Is that not possible?
No, sir. The charges arise where the incident occurred. So whatever happened in Van Buren Township because it involved Van Buren Township Department of Public Safety. So the prosecutors are where the crime happened, okay? Whoever's there with you at the Public Safety Department will give you the information about your next court date, and they'll take care of the bond. Again, your next appearance date is June the 13th at 9 a.m. Good luck to you, Mr. McKeever. You have a good afternoon, sir.
Thanks, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Hadley.
Oof. I'm surprised they don't have like an honorary Van Buren Township Police Department like T-shirt to put on those guys, huh?
Listen, no shirt, no shoes, absolute service at Van Buren. So, I mean, I don't.
At least there was no honeys involved at that one.
And I understand it's, you know.
I have a bad habit of doing that kind of stuff too. I better with judges, obviously, but I slip into that not appropriate kind of language anymore sometimes. Darlings.
I had one attorney call me by my first name during a hearing, and it's only because they've known me for so long. I think it just slipped out.
That'd be embarrassing for them.
It's fine. If that's the worst thing that happens in a day, it's still been a pretty good day. It just, they were embarrassed and I felt bad for them.
I think I may have told you that I got stopped mid-argument with the Court of Appeals after I called the panel use guys. It says, you guys know. And I kept saying you guys, and finally, yeah, they jumped in and said, that is not an appropriate way to address the court. I was pretty humbled.
It wasn't a name. It was, I was on the record in front of Judge Ted Wallace down in 36th District Court. And I was a young attorney and I was making an argument and defense counsel didn't like it. He actually put his hand on my back, like to stop me from talking. And I said on the record, I'm not going to say his name because he's still practicing. I said, sir, you touching me is not changing the argument. The judge was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I had never, and that's only that one time in 25 years. It took me so by surprise.
I'm gonna have to
I've
try
seen
that.
him. I've seen the attorney subsequently, and I've said something to him almost every time I've seen him. I was like, I can't believe that was a thing for you. If that's how you win an argument or you throw counsel off, usually people object to throw you off your game, but this was just
reach out and pat you on the back. That's enough. What are you doing? That's great.
Really? That's what we're doing now?
Wow.
Yeah, well.
Keeps the weak interested.
You can't make this stuff up.
No.
But you heard the great news, right?
I don't know.
Marianne is back.
So that is good news.
I have been a burden on Judge Oakley and Judge Green's secretaries and staff downstairs, helping navigate Zoom for me in the 2.5 weeks. Yes, that's all. It felt like so much longer.
Well, you know what? I think you guys did a great job because it really didn't. I mean, it wasn't obvious to anybody else.
It was obvious when people called and I answered her phone because they would keep calling. They would hang up and keep calling back. And so finally I would snatch the phone up. This isn't Marianne. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Judge Martin. How can I help you? So sorry. I said, don't be sorry.
Just stop calling.
No, I'm like, what do you want? What do you need?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Mr. Guru, I'm usually
Yes,
15 minutes after the scheduled start time. Are you walking in somebody else's courtroom?
I am, but my client is here. She just didn't tell me her name on the thing was Brett Calloway. So that is Amanda Barton.
Miss Barton is labeled as Brett Calloway.
Yes, that is correct.
Marianne just fixed it. Have you talked to her about this sentence recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. I just read over the pre-sentence investigation report. And
I haven't called the ma'am. I haven't called the case. Are you walking into someone else's courtroom right now?
I am. Yes, I have a in-person preliminary examination at 9 a.m.
Are they ready to go, or can you give me a couple of minutes to do this sentence?
Yeah, no, I can give you a couple minutes. I just had to get past security.
Okay, I didn't know. I just saw Callaway. I thought Mary Ann had, okay. This is 2000116FY. This is State of Michigan versus Amanda Lynn Barton. May I have your appearances, please? Appearances?
Amanda Barton.
Turn your camera on, ma'am.
I'm trying to figure out how.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alyssa Segur with the Neighborhood Defender Service on behalf of Ms. Barton, P86432.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for sentencing in this matter. This case arose out of an incident that occurred in Sumter Township back on September 6, 2019. Ms. Barton appeared before this court on March. The original charge was controlled substance second or subsequent offense notice. Ms. Barton appeared before this court on March 22nd, 2023, and entered a plea of guilty to the reduced count of attempted possession of controlled substance, narcotic or cocaine less than 25 grams. The court has reviewed the pre-sentence report, the recommendation crafted by probation agent Anthony Grant, the probation information sheet, the needs assessment, the incident report from Sumter Township, Ms. Barton's driving record, and her criminal history. Ms. Segur, you've had the opportunity to review the report and the recommendation with your client.
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Any additions, corrections, or deletions?
The one correction, it's very minor. Just my name is spelled wrong. If that needs to be fixed, it's just Alyssa. Other than that, no, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any allocution?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Barton, anything you'd like to say before the court imposes a sentence in this matter?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. The recommendation received from Agent Grant indicates that this is Ms. Barton's third drug-related offense. And the recommendation that he makes is that she be placed on 12 months of probation. The court will adopt that recommendation, place Ms. Barton on 12 months of probation with the associated oversight costs. There will be a fine of $500, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. There's $125 in restitution to Sumter Township. Ms. Barton will continue to follow the directions of the First District Court from Monroe and provide proof of compliance with her conditions from that court to this court's probation department. Ms. Barton is not to purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages or non-prescription controlled substances without permission of this court and will submit to random testing with ETG as directed by the probation department. Ms. Barton is to establish a payment plan for the $1,350, which is the total fines, costs, and oversight fees in this matter. Anything else on behalf of your client, Ms. Segura?
No, Your Honor, just that Ms. Barton has been fully cooperative during this entire process, and she is excited and to continue on her sobriety.
Thank you. Ms. Barton, good luck to you, ma'am. If you need anything from the probation department, do not hesitate to reach out for assistance and support. Probation will be in touch with you to put your probation formally in place and to set your payment plan. Good luck to you, ma'am. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Bye.
You too, ma'am. Mary Ann, I'm so sorry. We're just sitting here chatting away. I thought Callaway was something else.
Yeah, I did too. I'm sorry. I dropped the ball on that.
You didn't drop the ball. You're just rusty.
My mind, my body.
Shush. So, Mr. Hadley, I do wonder if there is a stack of shirts somewhere that you could pull on. He's not the first one I've had with no shirt on, probably not
No,
the last.
there's certainly been worse. Or less clothing, I guess I would say, whatever had happened the night before, for sure.
Has there been less clothing, Mary Ann? Absolutely. Oh, joy.
Mary Ann, do you guys have a Jeffrey Lee on today's docket?
Yes, at
Yes,
9
sir.
o'clock.
Okay.
With no change, it appears, since the last time we were here.
Nope. All right. I heard from Miss Leanne Belcher last week.
How is she?
She's good. She told me to tell everybody hi. She called about a question on the retained case and chewed the fat for a little bit. It's good to hear from her.
I haven't seen her in, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's been months.
She was a huge asset when I first joined the roster here. She was a good kind of, here's the lay of the land. But she told me to tell you hi. I just remembered.
Oh, thank you.
Judge,
Ma'am,
are you good with an email PTR for McKeever?
I'm absolutely good with an email.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
I see Mr. Nicholas here. I'll step off and grab iPad so I can sign that for you. Our next case is scheduled at, well, was scheduled at 9.
Okay.
Mr. Nichols, do you need to speak with me before we see the judge today? Do you want to go over the report?
I just wanted to let you know that I did make a couple of payments.
I see
and,
one on May 23rd and June 5th.
Yes, correct.
Excellent. Good stuff. That was about the only thing I had questions for you. So I think we're good to go.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hadley.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mott Grady,
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. Did you need to talk to your client?
I believe we need to look at the PSI together.
Before you do that, I want to tell you that, I'm sorry, I have to find it first. I received a text message on Friday evening from the Van Buren Area Little League Director, a gentleman named Mark Littleston. I know him through Little League. We don't have a social relationship. This was just one interaction. But he emailed me to advise me that Mr. Gelnet will be in the courtroom this morning and that he's been doing community service at the ball fields and he's been incredibly helpful. My response to him was that I would disclose the communication to you this morning, that if there was something he wished the court to know, that he needed to submit it to the probation department. I don't know if he did that. I just don't like people, well, it's not that I don't like people reaching out directly to me. It's not appropriate. And I wanted to make sure that you knew about it. And I'm not sure if Mr. Littleson did submit anything to probation. Mr. Grant hasn't sent anything up to me. I'm not sure if Mr. Gelnet asked him to do that or if Mr. Littleson did it on his own, but I just wanted you to know that there had been that communication on Friday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Marianne will get you into a breakout room with Mr. Gelnet. Oh, Marianne.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Miss DeMott Grady is still in here. Have you sent her?
I did.
Yeah, I don't have privileges, so I couldn't see.
Oh, okay. I'll make you co-host. Mr. Matt Grady, did you see the invitation?
Mr. Hadley, had you spoken to Mr. Nickel? While Mr. McGrady is gone.
We are set to go on Mr. Nickel whenever the court's ready for us.
I just wanted to wait for that to clear up. This is 194496 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Ronald Nickel. May I have your appearance, please?
I have Ronald Nickel here, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, MIDC, appearing on behalf of Probationer Ronald Nickel.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned hearing in this matter. Mr. Nickel was last here on April 17th. The court adjourned the matter for 30 days to allow Mr. Nickel time to present proof of his treatment and community service. The court has received the report from Mr. Grant and the probation department that indicated that Mr. Nickel has provided documentation showing his attendance at his individual psychotherapy through the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, as well as group sessions for the Strength at Home program. Mr. Nickel has also made 2 payments to the court's collections department since we were last here. Mr. Hadley, was there anything you wanted to say on behalf of Mr. Nickel?
No, Your Honor, we would agree the report's accurate. We have nothing further to add.
Thank you. Mr. Grant, do you have anything to add, sir?
No, Your Honor. The probation department would be all set with closing out his file and turning him over to collections to continue to make those payments.
Mr. Nickel, thank you so much, sir, for providing that documentation to the probation department. As recommended by Mr. Grant, we will close out the probation portion of your file and turn the matter over to collections for the remaining balance, which at this time is $1,169.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, sir?
No, not at this time. I really do appreciate today.
You look good. So whatever happened in the last 2 months, keep doing it, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good day, sir.
You as well.
Good
Bye-bye.
luck, sir.
A little time and a little nudge.
Just doing a little bit of reading this, that Strength at Home program, Mr. Grant, have you had any other probationers who have done that one through the VA?
I've
never looked it up before. It sounds pretty thorough for some of these programming. Have to remember that this is an available resource. Learn something new every day. All right.
Start this meeting.
Yeah.
This is the
Do you want me to shut this down?
I want you to put people out.
I am putting them out.
Yeah, it's fine. Not sure how they help somebody's day, but
I've heard of that. I've heard of that happening. That's the first time I've seen that happen in any court proceedings I've been in, but I've heard all the way through COVID about that kind of stuff. It's weird.
well, it was really bad about 6 weeks ago at another court, and so I had some judges reach out to me and advise me that we should be quick on our remove and report buttons. And I think between Mary Ann and I, we worked that out wonderfully. So thank you, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Your Honor, Mary Ann.
This is 230034FT. This is State of Michigan versus Eric Ryan Gelnet. May I have your appearances, please? Gelnet?
Your Honor, is there a prosecutor?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Neighborhood Defender Service by Kate DeMontgrady, P83667, on behalf of Mr. Eric Gelnet, who joins us via Zoom. Mr. Gelnet, will you please state your name?
Eric Ryan Gelnet.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for sentencing in this matter. The case arose out of an incident that occurred on January 11, 2023, at which time Mr. Gelnet was charged with fleeing a police officer, third degree, operating while intoxicated, impaired, or under the influence of a controlled substance, second offense, and driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. He appeared before this court on March 22nd, 2023, and entered pleas of guilty to the reduced count of reckless driving, and then the count 2, operating while intoxicated, second, and the driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. The court has had the opportunity to review the report compiled by probation officer Anthony Grant with the recommendation for sentencing in this matter, reviewed the police report, the probation information sheet, the needs assessment report, the driving record, and the criminal history. Mr. McGrady, you've now had the opportunity to review that information with your client.
Yes, Your Honor. As to the PSI, the one correction that we would ask the court to make is on the first page under military. It indicates none. Mr. Gelnet served in the Army National Guard of Michigan, and he's in Veterans Court, as a result of that. So we would just ask that that be corrected.
Thank you. And sir, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I saw him in Veterans Court, so I assumed that there was a correction needed somewhere. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Other than that correction, anything else, ma'am?
Just to say that Mr. Gelnet has been, working on his recovery and that he qualifies for the court-appointed attorney. And as such, I would ask that the court consider waiving or lowering fines and costs and giving the opportunity for community service when imposing the sentence. And we're asking for a probationary sentence consistent with the PSI recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. DeMontgrady, the court will adopt the recommendation made by Mr. Grant. Concern is that this is Mr. Gelnet's second alcohol-related offense, that at the time of the offense, he had a blood alcohol content of 0.148. The court will place him on 12 months of probation with the associated oversight fees. For the reckless driving, the court will impose a fine of $200, cost of $100, $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. For the operating whilst intoxicated or impaired second offense, there will be a fine of $700, cost of $100, $50 state cost, $20 fund fee. Driving while license suspended, $100 fine, $100 cost, $50 state cost, and $20 fund fee. The restitution to the city of Belleville is $150 as requested. Mr. Gelnet is to continue to follow all the conditions of his probation with the Veterans Court and provide proof of compliance as requested by the probation department of this court. He will not purchase, possess, consume any alcoholic beverages or non-prescription controlled substances without permission from this court. He will submit to random testing with ETG as directed by the probation department. The total fines and costs in this matter are $2,215. And I understand, ma'am, that he is unemployed. He is able to do community service at the rate of $15 per hour to work off the fines and costs unless and until he becomes employed and is able to make payments. But that's something that he has to have communication with the probation department about. If he doesn't already have a relationship with a nonprofit or somewhere where he can do his community service hours, he can talk to the probation department. They'll help get him connected, and we will again reduce his fines and costs by the hours of documented community service that he provides to the probation department. Anything else this morning, Mr. McGrady?
I don't think so, Your Honor. Just if I may ask Mr. Gelnet, does that make sense, Mr. Gelnet, in terms of the community service?
Yes, yeah, it does.
Okay, great. So I don't think anything else from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
So before you go, Mr. Gelnet, the probation department will be in contact with you to put you formally on probation, and you can set up your payment plan with them or talk to your agent regarding that community service conversion, okay?
Yeah, yes, Judge.
Good luck to you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.
You too, ma'am.
Mr. Hadley?
Yes,
Hey there. Do you need, Miss Bowers is here. Is that?
I have not
yours or-
spoken with I have not spoken with Miss Bowers yet.
Okay.
If Mr. Hadley comes back, Mary Ann, I'm not going far.
Okay.
So let's leave that iPhone in the waiting room for a moment, Mary Ann. Are we ready with Ms. Bowers?
Yes, Your Honor, we're all set to go. Miss Bowers, can you turn on your camera and take yourself off mute?
Thank you. This is 2BL000649 BOD. This is City of Belleville versus Bowers. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of Miss Bowers. Miss Bowers, please state your name for the court.
Diana Bowers.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for hearing on the violation report received from Anthony Grant of this court's probation department. Mr. Grant has submitted to this court information alleging that Ms. Bowers, having been sentenced on March 27, 2023, has been non-compliant with her treatment or education, non-compliant with testing, non-compliant with community service, and non-compliant with payments. She owes the court $935. She's been arrested for domestic violence allegations in Warren on April the 26th, 2023, specifically has failed to enroll in alcohol education and has failed to start her alcohol and drug testing at JAMS. Mr. Hadley, what say you to these allegations?
Your Honor, we'll plead responsible to the allegations with an opportunity for an allocution, an explanation, and more importantly, a progress update.
The court accepts your plea of responsible to the allegations, your allocution, sir.
So, Your Honor, I'm kind of move through this one at a time. Miss Bowers and I spoke. It's my understanding that she's going to be emailing Officer Grant paperwork, basically confirming she did complete her community service. Her community service hours were done at a nearby church from where Miss Bowers lives. So she's assured me that she's going to be reaching out to Mr. Grant to make sure that gets over to him. As it relates to JAMS, we do, like I said, we concede the fact that it wasn't signed up for immediately. She is now signed up and in current testing with JAMS. She also has now enrolled in and has a start date for her alcohol abuse treatment course. And as it relates to the fines and costs, she will be getting a new job with Amazon on June 25th of this year. Would just ask this court for a little bit of grace until she can get that first paycheck in. In the in-between, we did just briefly discuss the option of possibly converting fines to community service if the paychecks are a little tight. So she's aware that that could be a potential option. Lastly, Your Honors, relates to the arrest out of Warren on the domestic violence. I haven't spoken to her attorney, but after speaking with Ms. Bowers, she's fighting the case, and it sounds like there's a high likelihood of a dismissal in that matter, as the complainant was a highly intoxicated individual. So there sounds like there's some issues with that case out of Warren.
Thank you. Any comment, Mr. Grant?
Other than I was able to just confirm that she did sign up for JAMS on, it looks like Friday, this last Friday, the 2nd, and did test on the 3rd. Everything else, I have no paperwork to confirm whether she is telling Mr. Hadley the truth.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley and Ms. Bowers, this court's concern is that notice of the motion to show cause prepared by the probation department was sent to Ms. Bowers on May the 2nd, 2023, giving her more than a month to become compliant. And although Mr. Grant was able to confirm that she signed up for part of her responsibilities this past Friday, that's not sufficient. There's been no payment made, which is problematic. Mr. Hadley, I heard you indicate that Ms. Bowers will start work at Amazon in a couple of weeks, but that is no explanation for failing to make payment in the last 2.5 months. And although the court accepts your plea of responsible to the charges, the court is not satisfied that without a control date that Ms. Bowers will become compliant with the payments and actually following through on her class and on her testing. For that reason, the court will adjourn this matter to the next probation date that allows time for some compliance. Let's look at the calendar.
July 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Is there anything scheduled already on that date?
Let me take a quick look.
Thank you, sir.
No, it appears it's free, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Bowers, your case will be adjourned to July 10th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Back with me, back on Zoom. If between now and then you send the probation department sufficient proof that you have done what you are supposed to do in terms of becoming compliant, along with starting payments in this matter, we can close out this portion of your probation. If they're if the probation's department is satisfied with your progress, we might not need to reappear on that date. So the sooner that you're able to start doing what you're supposed to be doing in terms of the class, testing, and payments, the better it will be for you.
Thank you so much.
Anything else? You're so welcome, ma'am. Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, we just thank the court's patience and time, Mr. Grant as well. And like I said, Ms. Bowers, she's been advised to reach out to Mr. Grant today. So I think that some of these issues can get knocked out today.
Yes.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Ms. Bowers. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Okay. Let's try this now, Mary Ann.
Always, we got the.
No, we've turned off screen sharing. Hopefully that will help in part. Your name, please, that just joined?
Brandi Davis. Can you hear me? I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Yes, Ms. Davis, thank you. You're good.
Okay.
Mr. Hadley, do you need to go into a breakout with Ms. Davis?
Ms. Davis, do you need to speak with me before we talk to the judge about the payments?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Briefly, let me speak with Ms. Davis. I'll move her into a breakout room right now.
Thank you, sir. Andy, do you have anything else?
Not at this time, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, I'll be right back. See if she might be stuck in there.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley just went looking for you, Miss Davis, so sit tight.
I know, I didn't know what to do. He just
Okay.
told me.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is 220437 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Brandi Davis. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of Brandi Davis. Ms. Davis, please state your name for the judge.
Brandi Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you. When we were last here back on April 17, 2023, the court adjourned the matter to allow Ms. Davis to receive her tax return and make payment of the outstanding balance due to the court. When the court reviewed the matter of this past Friday, there had not been a payment made. Mr. Hadley, do you have an update?
Your Honor, we've confirmed that the tax return has not been received yet. We have a date, I believe, of July 2nd is when it's now been issued that she'll be receiving those funds. We understand that, it's by the grace of this court that you guys extended this, last time. And Ms. Davis is asking simply, please give me until after that holiday weekend for the tax return money to come back. Your Honor, I also explained to her in certain instances that this court has converted fines to community service, that if she's without money but has time, that may possibly be an option for her. And with that said, we'll leave it to the discretion of this court.
Any comment, Mr. Grant?
Your Honor, I guess I don't have any issue if we want to give her to July 2nd. As far as the community service though, I think $1,900 of that is restitution. So that would have to be a cash. But there is the remaining balance, I guess, if she wanted to do community service, but the bulk of it was the $1,900 for restitution.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley, I guess the concern of the court is that Ms. Davis has made no payment. And the only paperwork I have in the file indicates that she was employed back at the time of arraignment back on August the 19th of 22. Ms. Davis, are you working?
No, not anymore.
How are you supporting yourself?
My father helped me if I asked.
Mr. Hadley, as indicated by Mr. Grant, the bulk of this is $1,900 that is due to the victims in this case. So that is not something that the court is able to convert based on the allegation that the refund is now slated to be received on the 2nd of July. The court could put, which is a Sunday.
Yeah,
the court could put this matter over to that probation date of July the 10th. July 10th at 9:15 a.m. back here on Zoom, back on number 1. Ms. Davis, are you actively looking for work?
Yes, actually, I have an interview Wednesday for remote for work for home. So I'm gonna see how that goes.
So we'll put this matter over. Thank you. We'll put this matter over to that July 10th, 9:15 time. That will give you time to get their return, the tax refund, and be in contact and communication with Mr. Grant to make payments so we can get the restitution to the victim in this case, who is waiting. This case is now over 2 years old.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
Not at all, Your Honor. Thank you very much for hearing us out today.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Davis? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just feel like I should mention that she was actually due to be off probation on May 15th. So I guess we will extend probation until the end of July.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Grant. Extend probation to July 31st. Anything else, Mr. Grant?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Davis, good luck to you. Have a good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, can I say, I have a question. If I can get it paid before the 10th, is that fine? Like,
Absolutely.
okay. Okay,
Have a good day, ma'am.
you too.
The last thing that we have is 190210 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Jeffrey Lee. This case was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:59 a.m. by the court's clock. The last time the defendant was here, he admitted responsibility for probation violation, and we adjourned the matter to this morning to allow Mr. Lee time to enroll in the program's order in it during his sentencing and to resume payments. He has done none of that. And he has failed to make any payments. Based on his failure to appear this morning, bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Grant?
No, Your Honor.
That concludes this court's probation docket for the day. Unless you have anything else, Mr. Hadley.
Not at all, Your Honor. Good to see everybody. Have a productive rest of your day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Mary Ann, I'll leave us up for a little bit in case Andy has anything else. Mr. Grant, I'll bring the files downstairs. Mariah told me they go to McKinsey.
Okay,
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.